Hello, ladies. Thank you very much for allowing me to share a vulnerable moment with you all as it relates to the topic of Black Lives Matter. I'm looking forward to joining you from a place of love, a place of leadership, and a place of sisterhood. With the Black Lives Matter movement, it's not a movement of hatred or division. In my opinion, this movement is for unity and peace amongst us all. An opportunity for everybody to matter, to be able to be respected, cared for, and protected and served on the same level. Although the police are at the forefront, the judicial system and so many other systems have crippled the Black community. From a sister's perspective of a 20-year-old male, young Black male, who can't walk around with a hoodie on during the winter months or the falls without being stereotyped, without being potentially harassed by a police officer who may be targeted even in the summer just for being a teenager who's Black, who's a male. I myself even walk in a state of concern and many times fear. Fear of being raped, ridiculed, arrested, not believed. When Black women are raped, when Black women even go to the doctor's office, we are less likely to be believed, and I've struggled with that for years. I'm a recovering individual who has endometriosis. I've had surgery last summer, but for the longest time, no one would believe that I was in as much pain as I was. Come to find out, I actually had one of the rarest, most difficult cases that any doctor had seen on the East Coast. I was bounced around. I was even sent for mental health evaluations to ensure that it wasn't a mind thing. Could you imagine being in excruciating pain from 1 month to the next, from one day to the next, every hour, unable to get out of bed, only to demand that you be treated like others? The only thing the Black Lives Movement is asking is that we be treated fairly. That when we are arrested or approached, that we're given the benefit of doubt, that we're not already found guilty and tried on the spot, that we're not sentenced to death in the moment of interaction with a police officer, that guns aren't immediately drawn on our men and women, that we're not forced into chokehold, that when we say we can't breathe, that you actually believe it. I am actually a woman who is asthmatic, so if I say that I can't breathe, I mean it. My younger brother just recovered from cancer. He is asthmatic. If someone is putting him in a chokehold or forcing him to the ground face down and he says that he can't breathe, he means it. So in this moment, as we come to each other with love, with respect, and very transparently, I just want to urge you all to think of your brothers, sisters, uncles, aunts, cousins, who, if they were placed in a chokehold, or if they were snatched from their vehicles all because the officer didn't agree with something that they said or their response or their tone of voice, how would you feel? What would you want? Would you want justice to be served? Would you want to have their badge? Would you want to have their jobs? Would you want to have justice? Would you want your godfather, your mother, your brothers to be treated with respect, with dignity? That's the only thing we're asking. We want to be treated fairly. We want to be respected. We want to be treated like human beings, not shot down like dogs or chased. That when we are actually brought in front of judges, that the books aren't thrown at us, that we're not receiving life sentences for an ounce of weed. That when we're brought in front of a judge, that we're not tried and sentenced to death, even when the jury is uncertain, even when the facts aren't there, even when there's not enough evidence. We want fairness. We want equality. We want freedom. We want to live. I end this by saying, I can't breathe. Mama, I can't breathe. My mother is gone. She died of cancer. My father was shot 8 times and they burned his body. He's still an unsolved mystery. He is still an unsolved case. I can't breathe. Mom, help me. I can't breathe. Thank you, ladies, for listening. You have an amazing day on purpose. God bless.